subject of the שיעור קמח חדש, בעזרת השם נעשה ונצליח, השיעור יהיה לרפואת ברכה בת מרים, and the health of ברכה בת מרים, and also for the prosperity of משפחת מזור. Am I right? No, please God, a lot of brocha. So the Torah tells us in Sefer Vayikra, Parashat Emor, chapter 23, verse 10 to 14. I'm going to read it quickly. I'm going to skip few. I'm just going to read the main important parts of that psukim, and then our friend Ze'ev going to read it in English, so you'll understand. And the Torah tells us like this, כי תבואו אל הארץ אשר אני נותן לכם, וקצרתם קציריה, והבאתם את עומר ראשית קצירכם אל הכהן, והניף את העומר לפני אדוני אלוהי ברצונכם, ממחרת השבת יניפנו הכהן, ולחם וכלי וכרמל לא תאכלו עד עצם היום הזה. זאב. Loud.
Okay. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you shall enter the land that I give you and you reap its harvest, you shall bring an omer from your first harvest to the Kohen. He shall wave the omer before Hashem to gain favor for you. On the morrow of the rest day, the Kohen shall wave it. On the day you wave the omer, you shall perform the service of an unblemished lamb in its first year as an elevation offering to Hashem. Its meal offering shall be 2/10 ephah of fine flour mixed with oil, a fire offering to Hashem, a satisfying aroma, and its libation shall be wine, a quarter hin. You shall not eat bread or roasted kernels or plucked kernels until this very day, until you bring the offering of your God. It is an eternal decree for your generations in all your dwelling places.
Okay. Did anyone understand what the Torah tells us? Kind of. נכון? So we'll try and explain. I don't know, I know. So, what is קמח חדש? What is a new flour? The Torah, הקדוש ברוך הוא commands us in the Torah that all the crops, okay, the new crops that we have from the 5 grains, and I'm going to explain wheat, barley, oats, okay, spelt, and rye. Those are the 5 things that we can make from it flour, we can make from it certain things that we can make food. You know what I'm saying? Bread, and etc. All of those grain, those 5 grain, okay, that become ready before, listen to it, Hag Pesach, before the festival of the Pesach, we're not allowed to eat from those grain, okay, until the 16th of Nisan. The end of the 16th of Nisan, we'll explain. That means that's the day after Hag Pesach in Eretz Israel. Because in the diaspora we celebrate one more day. You remember? We'll get to it. So the Torah tells us, I'll repeat again, any new flour that become ready, or from those crops, 5 crops that we mentioned, we're not allowed to grind them and to make from them bread, pasta, whatever you want to call it. We're not allowed to use it if they become ready before Hag Pesach. Yes.
They're on Pesach.
They're not Pesach if you don't put them. Let me explain to you. A grain of wheat. Let's take wheat. That's what you make a matzah with. Until it doesn't come in contact with water, doesn't swell up. It needs 18 minutes to be in contact with water, and then it becomes fermented. Once that it's fermented, after 18 minutes, it becomes hametz. So all of those grain, as long that they didn't come in contact with water, there's no problem. You follow what I'm saying? Let's move on.
Hang on, before you go, you said the 16th of Nisan. But the 16th of Nisan is the second day,
in the diaspora. But in Eretz Israel, they celebrate one day.
The 15th of Nisan is the first day.
נכון.
I see what you're talking about, Chol HaMoed.
Okay, well, we'll get to it. I'll get to every question. Good. Okay, so in the time of Bet HaMikdash was exist, they used to sacrifice the Omer, like the Torah tell us, like you heard what Ze'ev read for us. and they used to sacrifice the Korban HaOmer, the sacrifice of the Omer that made from barley, okay, on Tetzai Nisan. Tetzai Nisan is the 16th of Nisan, okay? That used to be the Korban HaOmer. And from that time that they used to sacrifice the Korban HaOmer, we can eat already, in the time of Bet HaMikdash, the new flour. What we call it new flour. It's become Yashan. So how is it applicable for us today that we don't have Bet HaMikdash? So today that we don't have a Bet HaMikdash, how does it work? It works like this. That we're not allowed to eat from the new flour, from the new crops, until the 17th, the night of the 17th. That's me, now I'm answering you. Until complete 16 days of Nisan finished, and only on the night, like tonight, now after sunset, after the stars came, it's already a new day. So on the 17th of Nisan, in Eretz Israel, okay, you can eat from the new grain, what we call it Kemah Hadash. In the diaspora, because we celebrate 2 days of Yom Tov, nachon? So when they have already Hol HaMoed, the first day of Hol HaMoed, we celebrating the second day, nachon? So in Eretz Israel, when do you allow to eat? And Leil Yuthet. Yuthet, it's the night of the 18th of the Nisan. Only then we're allowed to eat. Where do we learn that? That we learn from the Gemara in Masechet Sukkah. That's the takana that make Rabbi Yohanan ben Zakkai. You can find that in the Gemara in page 41, folio 1. There is a takana of Rabbi Yohanan ben Zakkai. Okay, now we spoke about what is Kemah Hadash. Any questions so far before I continue? Because I'm going to go to the law of Kemah Hadash. But there is any question about it that you didn't understand? So we understand that Kemah Hadash, it's any new flour, okay, that the grain been taken, they put it through the process, it's become a flour, they make from it a pasta, they make from it everything that you make from the 5 grain. You're not allowed to eat it until the 18th of Nisan in the diaspora. Philip, you look confused.
Yeah, why does it matter in the diaspora as opposed to in Eretz Israel? They bring the Korban HaOmer.
Nachon.
Okay, but in the diaspora we weren't bound by the Korban HaOmer.
Because today we don't have Korban HaOmer. You just came as we started. You missed it. So today that we don't have Korban HaOmer, we don't sacrifice because there is no Bet HaMikdash. You agree with me? Yeah. Nachon? So because there is no Bet HaMikdash, we can't sacrifice the Korban HaOmer. Therefore, we have to take according to where you live. That means in Eretz Israel, it's finished when? On the night of the 17th. And in the diaspora, because we celebrate 1 day, and it's not going to be ready, only on 18th. Because the 18th, it's Yom Tov. You can't eat on Yom Tov. You understand what I'm saying? You follow? Yeah. Okay. So the law of new flour. Where do we learn about it? The Gemara in Masechet Menachot, in page 68, folio 1, Samech Het Amud Aleph, Hazal explained that the prohibition of a new flour, Rabotai, it's prohibition from the Torah, mitzvat deoraita. It's not like many people say, it's the Rabbanan, it's so important. We'll see, there is a mahloket on it.
Is it a derata mitzvah, even though the Beit HaMikdash is not around?
That's according to the Gemara Masechet Menachot. We bring all the posking in the end. Just remember, here we're talking about the time of the Gemara around 2,000 years ago, 2,400 years ago. The Gemara in Masechet Kiddushin.
Need to ask a question, please.
Yeah.
What prevents the people in Israel today building a new temple?
Okay, very good. Because, number one, nothing prevents us from building a temple. But, very good question. But it's not belong to the show. Can I answer it just now? Just to keep it and I'll answer it. It's not belong to the show, I'll answer it. In the Gemara Masechet Kiddushin, page 36, folio 1, and also in the Mishnah in Masechet Orla, there they explain that the prohibition of the Kemah Hadash, okay, the new flour, okay, it's not only in Eretz Israel, it's only in the diaspora. And we'll see now why I'm talking about it. Okay, and who agreed to it? The Rif, the Rosh, and the Rambam. That they, Amudei Ora'ah. According to them, that's how the Poskim Paskin. So they agree that the Kemah Hadash, Rabotai, it's not only in Eretz Israel, it's also in the diaspora. Sorry?
That's also here.
Yeah. So the flour, now we're going to get to it, that the flour that come from this country, in South Africa, can be Kemah Hadash. If it's been harvested and prepared before Yud Zayin. That means Zayin, okay, of Nisan. Now, the next thing that we have to understand is that only referring to the crops of a Jewish person or a Gentile? You understand the question? So the law say that even if the crops, that means that the field that you harvest and the crops belong to a Gentile, are those grain that belong to a Gentile, you have to keep Kemah Yashan. That means that's consider if he harvested before Yud Zayin, that means 17 in Eretz Israel and 18 here, that crops that he harvest, if they're from the 5 species, I repeat again, wheat, barley, oats, spelt, and rye, those 5 consider Kemah Hadash, if he done it before Pesach.
Sorry, I might have missed something, but
Yes.
I want to ask this question.
Yes, Brian.
How do you know whether it's new flour or it's not new flour?
Okay, now I'm going to get to it. Exactly now. How do we define what is a new grain and what is not a new grain? How do we define that the grain, that the crops, they are new or not?
The price. Very good.
Okay,
Inflation and profiteering.
okay.
So,
So the way that we define it's very simple. We define it like this, that if any one of those 5 grain that we mentioned, okay, it's been planted, okay, before the Pesach, that means they're sworn in the ground, and it have to be in the ground, okay, and it's been harvested before the Pesach, they're harvested, okay, that's considered, okay, as a Kemah Hadash. If it's been harvested after the Pesach, it's considered Kemah Yashan. You follow? What it means? That if we take those grain and we plant them on the ground before Pesach, okay? And we only harvest them after the 17th of Nisan, that's after Pesach, in Eretz Israel, or 18 in the diaspora, that's considered Kemah Yashan, and you're allowed to eat. You follow? What does it tell us? That you have to make sure when the grain been planted and when it's been harvested. That means if you harvest it now we in Iyar, okay, we plant the grain now, and you harvest it before next Pesach, what is it considered? Kemah Hadash. If you harvest it after the 17 or the 18, Yashan. You follow? Now we have to understand if that's the case, we have a problem. Why? Because we have to define, okay, how long does it take the seed, okay, to root? You understand? How long does it take for the roots to start growing? You understand what I'm saying?
To germinate.
Sorry?
The word is germinate.
To germinate. How long does it take? Sorry? What did you say, Steve?
I
know.
said, Mr. Scientist.
No. I was thinking Stephen say something. So we have to understand how long does it take, okay, for the roots to grow, to germinate. So, to germinate. Sorry? Germinate. Okay. So according to the opinion of Trumat Adeshe, that was Rabbi Israel Iserlan, he born 627 years ago in Germany. And he said that after 3 days, any one of those green seeds that we planted, they already start germinate. That's one opinion, and you'll see why I'm specially brought it. According to the opinion of the Dagul Merevava, Rabbi Haskel Landa, born in Poland 304 years ago, and the Gaon Mivilna. Okay, the Gaon Mivilna, there is a debate where he born, but most of the people say that he born in Vilna. He born 297 years ago. They both agree that at least from the moment that you plant the grain on the ground, it takes at least 2 weeks for the seed to germinate, to grow. You understand? Why did I brought this mahloket? Because we see now, what is it going to come to? Because we have to understand, for example, and I'm going to do conclusion. If that grain been planted in Rosh Chodesh Adar, that's a month and a half before Pesach. Now, if we go in according to the opinion of Rabbi Israel Iserlan, it takes 3 days. We have no problem. But there is still a problem because it's maybe start rooting, but it's not ready. It's not so simple to harvest. You agree with me? But it's rooted. But if we take the opinion of the Gaon Mivilna and the Dagul Mirvava, Rabbi Haskel Landa, that they say that it takes at least 2 weeks. Okay. So we still okay. Why? Because it takes 2 weeks for the seed to germinate. Do you understand what I'm saying? That means if they planted it, let's say in Rosh Chodesh Nisan, they plant the grain, and they want to harvest it, it's considered still Kemah Hadash. Why? Because those seeds still didn't germinate. Because it takes 2.5, at least 2 weeks. And how many weeks pass from Rosh Chodesh Nisan? 15 days. So it's 2 weeks and 1 day. There's a problem here. So it's not sure. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's very important to know how long does it take the root to germinate, for the seed to start, the roots to grow up in the ground. It's very important in the ground.
But you still can't harvest it because it's
No, you can't harvest it. But you have to know when it's been planted,
Yes.
so then when you can harvest it. That's very important. It's very important to us to know when it's planted and when we can harvest it. The harvesting is the easy part. Because you know when you harvest it. Because you harvest it, so you write on it. But when is it planted? You understand? So all it depends on when it's the seed start germinate. Do you understand? Okay.
But Rabbi, how
yes.
do we, living in South Africa,
I'll get to it. How do we know? Very good question. I'll get to it. Just remind me, you have 2 questions. I need to answer you, 2. Okay. So therefore, let's do a conclusion. We know that the mitzvah of a new flower, it's not a rabbinical decree, it's a Torah decree. Mitzvah deoraita. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let's go to the halachot. There is a halachot on it. Now, we come to conclusion that the law of the Kemah Hadash, the new flower, it's deoraita. Is it just in Eretz Israel or also in the diaspora? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because where was Bet HaMikdash? Eretz Israel. You understand? And where they used to allow the Kemah Hadash to say that it's Kemah Yashan? Bet HaMikdash. But today that we don't have. So today that we don't have Bet HaMikdash, we see that still that prohibition, it's mitzvah deoraita, even in Eretz Israel. Okay, what's happened now in the diaspora? Is that considered as kema hadash, as Torah prohibition, or rabbinical? There is a mahloket on it. You understand what I'm saying? So the Maran Shulchan Aruch wrote in Yoreh De'ah, Siman Resh Tzadik Gimel, that means Siman 293, and most of the poskim agree with him, most of the poskim agree, that a new flower in a diaspora consider a prohibition from the Torah. Mitzvah deoraita. You follow?
Yes, I don't follow why.
What do you mean you don't follow? Why? Why did they call it mitzvah deoraita? Because they say that the prohibition that the Torah tells us that you're not allowed to eat flour, it does make no difference if it's in Eretz Israel or here. You're still not allowed to eat from the new crops until after Pesach that they used to bring. So they say, nachon, that today that we don't have Bet HaMikdash, and if you live in a diaspora, that flour that come and you eat from it, it's still considered as a Torah prohibition. You follow? Now it's time for question. Yes?
I don't understand how this works practically. Because are you saying every single year I have to be careful where I get my flour from?
That's basically what Lionel asked. I'm going to explain. I'll tell you
If
what.
I go to the shop, how exactly must I?
That's what Lionel asked. How do we know? So the Bet Din, Baruch Hashem, the Bet Din send email. I don't know if you get it. You go to the site if you don't get it. And on the site, there is, you write Yoshen. Yoshen, it means the old flour. And they tell you what date you have to look, because they keep a record of the pasta, the macaroni, you know, all of those things that make, not only bread, that been made as a kemach yashan, that it's not kemach hadash. So if you look at the site, you follow Lionel, you with me? Liron, you with me? So if you look at the site, they tell you, for example, Fetis and Monis. You know, they make all the pastas, they make all the, what do you call it, the macaroni, all of those. They have a serial number, and they tell you to look at that serial number, and they tell you, if that date is from XYZ, that's considered as a kemach yashan and not kemach hadash. You follow?
How many people actually do this?
That's exactly, because not many people follow it. That's what we do in the Shori, to explain.
And what happens if you want to go for like natural organic flour? That means you're stuck now that you have to go for normal flour.
You have a major problem, because the natural organic, you have no supervision. Now, they tell you that it's natural organic. But is it really natural organic? You sure that they didn't put anything, any preserve in it? I tell you what I hear from Arav Ben Zion Mutzafi. Arav Ben Zion Mutzafi told us, I listened to his shiur, and he said that in Pesach, I'm talking about black pepper. Listen to that. Black pepper. What can be wrong with black pepper? Nothing. Nachon, you grind it and it's black pepper. Listen carefully. They gone to a hotel. The same chef, everything is the same. They kosher the kitchen for Pesach. The chef used all the product that came, it's all kosher for Pesach. He made the same chicken, the same dish. Many people come and complain that the food was too spicy. The chef couldn't understand why. He said, it's the same amount that I use all year around. I don't understand. So he decided to use less pepper, and it worked. He used less amount of pepper, black pepper. After Pesach, he gone back to the normal black pepper. He used the usual amount that he always used, and it was not spicy. He couldn't work it out. So he told his boss he wanted to check it out. They took the black pepper. Listen to that. to the laboratory, and they found that it's full of preservative. The one before Pesach. There is starch, there is many things that they put with that. So the string of the spice is less. You follow? So that's what I'm trying to tell you about the organic. We don't know. Today, the food industry becomes so advanced that I think that there is major thing there, major problem. You have to be so careful that even if they tell you it's organic, I don't know how much of it is really organic. You know, if you look at the stuff that they tell you on a fruit juice, 100% natural. Yes, it's 100% natural, but how much chemical they put there? But the chemical is also natural. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to be very careful because you can be misled very easily.
There's another problem.
Yes.
They radiate the fruit and the vegetables to extend the life, which changes the structure of the...
Okay, you see, I didn't know that. Here we have the scientists. If Meish say, believe me, you can rely on Meish sources. You understand what I'm saying? Is that normal? You know, today, Rabotai, they don't want to lose money. Everything for them, every crops, every orange, every fruit, it's money for them. So like Meish say, they radiate the fruit. Why? To give it a longer life. Does that make sense to you? Liron, does it make sense? I would never think like this. I would never in my life dream. But yeah. It's not for me. I have no clue. Here's the first source. He's a scientist. Okay, now,
But
yes.
then bread, Rabbi?
One second. Yes?
Sorry for asking the next question, but does Kosher World by any chance follow this?
Sorry?
Kosher World.
I'm sure all the kosher product. Sorry?
The bakeries.
The bakeries. They all follow Kemach Yashan.
Beth Din have a lot of people going out checking.
Sorry?
Beth Din send out a lot of people to check.
I think so. I think most of the thing. Because if you look for example, if you take the pasta in Israel, or you take anything that there is one of those 5 grain that we mentioned, it says on it, Kemach Yashan. It said there is a stamp in Eretz Israel. In South Africa, it doesn't say Kemach Yashan, because Fetis and Monis doesn't know. But they know when it's been harvested, that flour, from wherever they get, and they follow it to Beit Din. So I'm sure, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Kosher World. I don't want to say any opinion. I don't want to be sued. I have no idea. But I'm sure that if it's a kosher place, I assume, and there is the mashgichim that come to check from the Beit Din. You follow. You have to ask the people at Kosher World what's the process. I'm not sure. Any other question before I answer our friend Lionel? Okay. Lionel, you ask why Beit HaMikdash doesn't get built. To build Beit HaMikdash, it's not just to think that we build Beit HaMikdash. We have to get a command from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to build Beit HaMikdash. But the third Beit HaMikdash not going to be built by us. The third Beit HaMikdash is going to come ready up from heaven. And Hazal tell us that all the shuls that exist in the world are going to be part of Beit HaMikdash. And the Zohar explained that Eretz Israel is going to expand her boundaries to all over the world. That means all what we see now, that's going to be all Eretz Israel. And the diaspora have a different place. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Beit HaMikdash, it has to become order from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The same like Bnei Israel, when they enter Eretz Israel, they've been commanded 3 mitzvot. One of them was to build Beit HaMikdash, Beit HaBchira. So they have to build Beit HaMikdash. Who built Beit HaMikdash? Shlomo HaMelech. David HaMelech started the foundation, but he was not allowed to build it. You remember we spoke about it. Shlomo HaMelech will build. You understand? So it has to be from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's not like people think, you go quite often to Eretz Israel and you see some Mishugayim wearing all white. He tell you, I become Kohen Gadol. He wears something on his head. he have top thing on his head, he all wearing white. I'm Kohen Gadol, he tell you. He put a breastplate, look like copy of a gold, you know, plated. He think that. I'm telling you, you go to many places. You ask people, are you the Messiah? Everyone will tell you, I'm the Messiah. Do you understand what I'm saying? משוגעים לא חסרים. We're not missing of them. We're not short of משוגעים. We have to live according to our Hazal, to our poskim, to Gdolei Ador. Don't listen to everyone. You know, you go to, and that's one thing that I really want to mention. You know, many of us go to the Kotel, Rabotai, and they see there, you know, they sell the red string. Did you see it?
They sold me one.
Where does that come from? I tell you what, you go to Gdolei Ador. So, הרב אלישיב, זכר צדיק וקדוש לברכה, הרב עובדיה יוסף, זכר צדיק וקדוש לברכה. Did you ever see them wearing those red string? If it was so important, they would wear it. So don't waste your money on nonsense. Don't listen to all of those that try to sell you, try to tell you. It's all Buba Mises. You know what is Buba Mises? Baruch Hashem. So don't fall to all of those traps everyone tell you. Don't look at the exterior, how they dress. Don't fall into those traps. Rabota, you go to Eretz Israel and you think that you're in a kotel. It's very holy. Don't fall to those little crooks. Do you understand? Especially say crooks, because what they put and what they say to you, it doesn't say anywhere in the Torah that you should wear a red string. If it would say, today each one of us would have it, the same like we have tefillin. You agree with me? Yes, Lana.
I hear some of the top rabbis, you know, all dress just like you and me.
The top rabbi, they're normal. Why? Did you see any rabbonim that dress any differently? Some wear hats, some doesn't, some wear suit, some wear a long jacket, you know what I'm saying? But in general, if it was so important, the same like each one of us here in a shul have a tefillin at home and wear every morning, put on himself every morning. We will have a red string, for example. Do you understand? Rabotai, it's Buba Mises. Please, please, please don't fall into those mistakes. Because if the Torah doesn't tell you, then that's it. Pashut, nachon? Any other question? Everyone understand the concept of Hadash? Okay, so now that we know a little bit about the Kema Hadash, I hope that I summarized it, that I explained it, I tried to explain it. We should be very careful about this mitzvah. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that now that we know, because it's the Chokhmah to learn, once that we know, we should keep it. And Be'ezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will guard us, because you see now that we're trying, and will send us Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mera b'yameinu, amen ken yeh ratzon.